Governor Bush, let's talk now about what you call the right to rise and religious liberty. You spoke at the Liberty University commencement address, and that you said with regards to religious liberty, there's a choice between the Little Sisters of the Poor and Big Brother. And in your 1990s book, Profiles in Character, you said that one of the causes of America's social regression can be traced to the collapse of civil society, those institutions, the family, church, that instill virtue. Can you talk about what you think the job of a president is vis-a-vis promoting religious liberty, civil society, and virtue?
Absolutely. This is if you talk about bottom-up politics, a bottom-up society rather than a top-down society, you start with the institution of family. Because without that, the demands on government become overwhelming. Today in America, 42% of all the babies brought into the world today will be out of wedlock. A mom will be there, of course, but the dad, the dad may be part of the life, but is not the husband of the mom and may not be living there. A quarter of all children born today don't know who their dad is, has no relationship with their dad. And the net result of this, as we've seen this play out, is a dramatic change in our society, and the demands that exist because of this are overwhelming. If we want to get back to a society that is loving and compassionate and caring, I think reorganizing family life, recognizing that single moms are heroic in their efforts, that we should respect the fact that it is difficult to do this, but we ought to figure out ways to make sure that men can be involved in their child's life and men be reconnected with the moms that are struggling. And we don't do that today. So how would we do it? Well, first, as a president, you lead. You talk about this in a way that is loving and draws people towards the cause of traditional family life being important. Secondly, you eliminate all of the barriers that exist right now in our welfare system for men to be engaged. Effectively, if you're an intact family, you can't receive the benefits. And the net result is that it basically perpetuates this. You trap people. Thirdly, we have a marriage penalty in our tax code. If someone wants to work as a spouse, the highest rate that they pay is the first dollar that they earn because they're part of their spouse's income. We should eliminate the marriage penalty by allowing spouses to have their own single filing, which would create a lot of economic opportunity and vitality in families. And as it relates to religious freedom, clearly the president has to express a view and fight for the view that conscience is what religious freedom is about, not just going to church, as Hillary Clinton says, or just having a view of faith in your house, but acting on your sense of consciousness matters. Being in the public square, using the teachings of your Creator to be able to improve the human condition, to act on your faith, is something that is part of our heritage as a country, and there are people on the left that want to push that away, and they're using the courts to try to do so. I, for one, believe that a tolerant big country like ours needs to protect religious freedom and religious conscience. It is the first freedom of our Constitution. And I think a great majority of Americans believe with that. I think 3/4 of Americans, if you express it the way I just did, will embrace that idea. And politics ought to be about that, drawing people towards our cause, having a conversation with them to believe like we believe that these things truly, truly matter.